Peace and stability to everybody. It's Nisi, the moderator, and we're still in the book of Genesis. We're in the 9th verse. Noah was a just man. What does that mean? There are a lot of people who believe that Christianity is of European descent. I am one of those people who believe that the Europeans had their own version of Christianity, and that the word Christ and Christian is older than Europe. And then it really depends on what your definition is of Christianity. Is Christianity the worship of Jesus of Nazareth, or is Christianity a way of life? When we look at this word again, just, that should be defined. And then when we travel up and we look at what the Lord is saying that he repented that he made man. God is saying that, the writer says God saw the wickedness and that evil is in the heart of man. He saw the wickedness of man. And what does that mean? Because we know that Noah drank and Noah got drunk. And can we apply his actions of being intoxicated as a just man? Now, I am not condoning alcohol at all. There are those of us who cannot drink alcohol. There are some people who can. But what I am saying is that, how do we define the just man if this man was found to be drunk in the next few chapters? When we look at this text in Genesis 6, we should consider that these people had a way of life, something that they were accountable for. And we don't, but here's the problem. It's not written. There are no 10 commandments here. There is no Jesus of Nazareth here. So what did they use? What I noticed in the names of the descendants of Cain and Seth is the word M-E-T, M-A-T. Some people may say Methuselah. Some people may say, it depends on how you pronounce it. But all of them seem to have a M-A-T in their names. Now, M-A-T-A is Mayat. Mayat is an ancient way of life. Now, consider that this could be how the Lord was judging the people, but we don't know. It depends on what your definition of wickedness is, and you should take a look at the word Mayat or Mata. We should consider Hinduism a very early spiritual system that has been, when you read up on Hinduism, it'll say, some of the writers say, well, it began in Europe, because of course, nowadays, everybody seems to act as though everything began in Europe, when these events are taking place in Africa. And the man is called just, and the Lord is calling people wicked. How could that be? Was there a way to behave during this period? What was the religious system during this period? And what did the Lord consider as wicked? Was it human sacrifice? Because that's kind of missing from this. And we know that there are many people, even the Greeks and the Romans, that practiced human sacrifice. But there was a group of people that didn't practice it. And people have a lot to say about voodoo. There's a lot of negative things about voodoo. Still a word that I don't understand the origins of. But there were a group of people in ancient times that rejected human sacrifice and replaced the humans with dolls. Okay? Listen, folks, instead of killing people, here's a doll for you. And it sounds like what is called voodoo, which could be wara, which could be another pronunciation. So consider that. What was Noah's spiritual system? Here's something else to consider. Here's the word God. Here's the word Lord. These are not the same. These are different titles. The Lord continues to identify as us, as though he's operating with a group. And right here, you can see that they're different. Now, this Lord right here, this Lord is the Lord from Genesis 2. This Lord created animals and as well as formed man from the ground. Consider that this is a breeding. This is a type of breeding. What the Lord was doing was bringing animals together and creating different types of animals. Now, if you think it's something else, let me know. But based on ancient culture, the Lord has realized that this, now mind you, this is not God. This is some ancient priest. And let me just say this, that people don't give these folks from the ancient world enough credit. These people didn't have televisions. They didn't have radios. These people observed the universe and nature. They understood things that some of us may never understand. Well, I'm going to say this. They understood things that people are coming to understand now. Okay? So we're talking about some masterminds here. This word Lord is not creator, God of the universe. This is a priest. This is some group of priests maybe. But what they were doing is they were bringing animals together in the garden, and they were creating new types and various types of species that evidently the Lord was not pleased with. I want you to consider a pit bull and how people bring two animals together to create something new. Okay, and though not all, people say not all pit bulls are violent, there are some breeds that you can bring together that could be violent, depending on how you rear them, or if you just let them run loose in the wild. But I want you to consider that when God says wickedness. Something else to consider, and I'm going on a little longer than I generally do, is that the sons of God were the priests. In some cases, the sons of God were the planets, the universe, the celestial. But this here, I do believe these are priests. And if you want to see this type, okay, of structure in the modern world, consider this, that this is a precursor for the hierarchy of the Church of Rome. And that the ancient world had its own structure of priesthoods. That is something that you should consider. If you want to understand when the Lord says us, take a look at the structure of the Catholic Church and the Pope and the bishops and the archbishops and the all of the various titles. Consider that when reading the Bible, okay? But what was the way to live, and what was the spiritual system that Noah adhered to? Thank you for listening.